Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I thought I would ask my subscribers about their opinion on something and to update my situation. First and foremost, please continue to pray for my success in this matter by leaving a dislike on this video. So, continuing on the saga of finding a long lost misconnection. Let's rehash the story just in case my viewers are new to it. When I was 14 years old, I ended up in juvenile detention, if you can believe it. I've come a long way from that, obviously. But while I was in there, I uh, developed a close friendship with a girl there. She was, I believe, 16 or 17 years old at the time. But in the excitement of graduating from that experience, we never exchanged information. And at the time, it didn't seem like a pressing matter. I had bigger pressing matters at the time. I was missing school, I needed to catch up, and among other problems that I was dealing with, right? And it quickly got forgotten. Now, over the years, I have thought about her at various times in my life. I thought about her missing my graduation. I thought about her missing out on uh, my career as it progressed. And I thought about how she would handle the COVID lockdowns when they happened, believe it or not. I really did. She was one of the people that I thought about when we first locked down. There was another potential person that I thought about when I was when I was in when I was in college. I sold my some of my sperm. I was I was strapped for cash, and I thought about my kids. They would have been 10, 11 years old at that point in time, and I thought about them not having a school to go to and the missing out on their fifth, sixth grade classes. Thought about that, but I also thought about the girl that I knew all those years ago. I thought about her this past month because my grandmother on my father's side passed away. She was 90 years old, and now only one grandparent remains, my grandmother on my mother's side, and she's 95 years old. And it just gives a sense that time is running out. People on both sides, right, my side and her side, fewer and fewer people are going to see it, a reunion of any sort, the longer I wait. And that really inspired me to compose an email to Westmoreland County. And I did. And I got some good news and some tricky news. Let's put it that way. The good news is that the person I emailed actually entertained the question, and she pointed me to two probation officers that I should connect with. And I emailed them, and then I decided to social media stalk them a little bit, and I discovered that one of the probation officers there has been working there for 26 years. So maybe she even remembers me and the girl, right? It would have been early in her career, but you know what? Sometimes I remember interesting figures in my own work, right? Sometimes I have a student who does something weird, and I remember it, right? I had one student who thought I was working at a tutoring center, and they get these reward points, and he misbehaved so much that I would always threaten to take away the reward points. The truth is that I really didn't care. I only threatened to take them away because when students misbehave, sometimes they egg me on to they drag me into their misbehavior. So I use the taking away the reward points to remind myself that it's inappropriate behavior. It was really a coping mechanism, but he didn't know that. My boss didn't know that either. My boss was pretty upset that I was threatening to take away the reward points. He didn't think that was appropriate. It wasn't for the benefit of the student, it was for me. And that was 6 years ago, and I still remember that like it was yesterday. And so, who knows? Maybe, but I'm trying to think about, strategize. I thought about picking up the phone and calling the probation officer myself to give it a personal touch, but then I realized that I often spontaneously say the wrong stuff. I've had relationships end because I didn't come up with the right words in the heat of a moment of a phone call and in-person communication. I rarely have relationships end because I email the wrong stuff. Almost never, unless the girl was like a hair trigger of some sort, right? And then it was going to end anyway, regardless of what I said, right? But I thought about calling that officer. I wish there was a way to put. I love the personal touch of calling or even visiting in person. Right? Obviously, I'm not going to travel all the way back to Pennsylvania just to do this, but pros and cons. The pros is that it gives it a personal touch. The cons is that you don't have a backspace button on your mouth, right? And I have a tendency in the heat of discussion, voices are raised and all that, or just words are being rapid fired, right? Even if the voice isn't being raised. The good news is that if I call the probation officer, chances are she's in a quiet room. I'm not talking over noise, right? The worst case scenario would be that, hey, to go to the, let's say, hey, I call the probation officer, can I meet you at this bar after you get off work today? I would definitely not want to do that because now I have to speak over a loud environment, and that really heightens the risk of saying the wrong stuff. It ruins the chemistry of what I say. I really despise how a lot of speed dating events are held in bars, right? I would thrive in an environment where speed dating was held like at a library. Oh my God, I would thrive in that, right? I would really thrive. I tried to create a speed dating event by competing in the Computer Olympiad. Obviously, there's very few females in that stuff. And second, even the ones that go there aren't there to date. Usually, it's the husband who's competing, and they bring their wives there. Right? That's the only time you might see a girl at a Computer Olympiad, right? Um, but so that's why it didn't work. But pray for me, and let's do a survey. Do you think I should call? And if I do, how should I bring up the conversation, and what kind of traps should I watch out for? I'll leave this to my viewers to answer. It's Sunday morning there anyway. It's going to be 24 hours from now if I'm going to make a call. Actually, I might not call on Monday because people are not in a good mood. I'm thinking maybe at least a Wednesday before I make the call. I'm trying to brainstorm this a little bit. Things are getting heated, and it looks like the people there, because when I emailed the person, the first person I emailed, she was really entertained by the story, and I hate to let the heat die before I follow up. Uh, and seeing how long they've been working there, this might be my last chance because, judging by the profile that I saw of the officer, she may be nearing retirement, and all bets are off if the people who were involved when this happened retire, right? It's like the whole thing just dies with it, right? So, all right. Uh, Leave a comment. Leave some, I don't know if this is the appropriate way, some kind of pickup line when I call the officer to put them in a good mood, put them in a friendly rapport, so that they go a little bit above and beyond. I'm thinking the best case is that they give my contact information to the girl, and she can make her decision whether or not to call me. I think that's probably the best way to handle this, and I think she will, because it'll probably be. Imagine somebody that you made the first move on. The girl, I think she made the first move on 23 years ago, calls you back, right? Imagine you thought you had been ghosted for 23 years, and then all of a sudden they're calling you back, right? And if not, at least I could put this whole thing to rest, right? I'll probably have a little bit of a like a ceremony to end this whole thing, right? Because I have thought about her on many occasions, right? All right, please pray for success on this and leave comments and suggestions, but most importantly, pray, because the last time you guys prayed when I went on that the first date that I went on for many years, it turned out very well. And all right, this is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.